truth dare you enter? God knows no evil but in the hearts of men.
But how did Adolf Hitler and his small band of criminal conspirators persuade the German people to follow him on this horrific path?
The truth hurts, but silence kills.
Adolf Hitler has risen to power pretending to be a man of peace. He tells his people he can make Germany great again, without war. But behind the scenes, he's locked in a fierce battle with his generals.
The true color of people is within a person.
In 1930, Germany is in the midst of the Great Depression. Factories are closing. Unemployment is at 4.5 million. People are starving. Chaos has returned to the streets. One man has predicted this all along. Adolf Hitler, the one-time jailbird, looks like a prophet.
The seed of the devil resides in each man.
January 1933. Adolf Hitler has taken power in Germany. He has got there by promising to be a man of peace. He has barely even mentioned the Jews. But now he can pursue his real agenda and rid Germany of his long-standing enemies.
The Jew was the enemy within, and the great Hitler, the great leader, is now pointing that out.
But not all Germans are behind him.
Many were upset by the ill treatment of Jews.
So he must find a way of capturing their minds to turn them to his way of thinking. This is the story of how Hitler and the Nazis bend an entire people to his will and groom them into participating in the most evil regime in history.
The greatest weapon to fight evil is to remember.
They invaded peaceful nations.
This is a criminal regime.
Slaughtered innocent people.
They're performing murder and terrible crimes, but at the same time trying to make it look as though it's correct.
Committed genocide.
He likened the Jews to a virus.
The creator of evil is free will. The greatest destroyer of free will is evil.
But how did Adolf Hitler and his small band of criminal conspirators persuade the German people to follow him on this horrific path?
He's clearly insane. His mouth would foam with rage, as he's like a sort of a rabid dog.
This series offers a unique perspective on the Third Reich. It shows how Hitler and his inner circle created an illusion of justice and legality, while behind the scenes, they subverted democracy and planned a monstrous secret conspiracy based on a warped ideology and phony science. It's the story of a gangster regime that used not only violence and suppression, but which carefully groomed the German people into willing complicity in the worst crimes in history.
The fact that a great many people believe something is no guarantee of its truth.
In the winter of 1923, Adolf Hitler is at an all-time low. His audacious attempt to seize power in a coup has been an embarrassing failure, and he's going to jail. His Nazi party, seen only as a band of fringe revolutionaries, is on the verge of being shut down. But Hitler has a plan. He's going to take the Nazis into the mainstream of politics.
He wanted to become a respectable parliamentarian without being any of those things.
Purpose, love of the nation, nationalism, that'll take us through. That will carry the day. And it does.
This is the story of how Hitler's reinvention of the Nazi Party and a financial catastrophe opened the door for him to win the hearts and minds of the German nation.
The real problem is in the hearts and minds of men. It is easier to denature plutonium than to denature the evil spirit of man.
But behind the smart exterior, Goebbels is a thug. He and his Nazi party bully boys, the SA Brown Shirts, regularly provoke the opposition parties with the aim of causing bloodshed.
Goebbels' SA specialised at going into working class areas of Berlin, holding speeches and events which they knew would rouse the ire of the left-leaning local paramilitaries. This could be guaranteed to cause a fight.
They battled it out literally in the streets, using koshes, using chair legs, using bottles and beer mugs. They even shot and stabbed each other on the street. Unhesitatingly, Goebbels used violence to achieve his end.
Following an early 1927 political rally and a brawl with communists, Goebbels writes in his diary,
"A procession through town. Our brave lads hauled a Jew out of a bus. How I love these lads. We are creating uproar all over Berlin."
While Goebbels is busy sorting out the German capital, back in Munich, Hitler is working on the final touches to his image. He wants something that will set him apart. As the aspiring ruler of Germany, Hitler is looking to create his own special bodyguard. The obvious group to recruit from are the SA Brown Shirts, but they're seen as too thuggish. He needs something more elite, more presidential. Enter the Schutzstaffel, Hitler's new protection force, or SS.
Our biggest fear is not in expressing the truth, but that we will be attacked or belittled because of our truth.
The idea that families weren't simply units individually, they were part of a greater community. And that individuals took their worth, not from their individuality, but from their collective membership, or their membership of the collective.
To help foster the Volksgemeinschaft, the Nazi Party permeates all levels of society.
National Socialism infiltrates all kinds of areas of daily life, whether it's in voluntary organizations or in professional life. People came into contact with representatives of National Socialism.
Nazism now becomes present at every stage of a German's life. Youngsters in particular are targeted to make them subscribe to the vision.
What Nazism tried to do was try to become the political wing of the German people as a whole. And if you're going to do that, you're not necessarily going to convince the older generation. But what you can do is start absorbing the younger generation into your movement. So if everything you do is through or for the party, then you will become a good little Nazi.
The greatest evil is stealing the minds, hearts, and souls of children. Dare you continue, look within.